Hey everybody, Terrio back at you. Syncopation is the foundation of all things funky, especially dealing with rhythm guitar. That's what we're talking about today. I'm going to teach you all about it. Stay tuned. Howdy folks, Shane Terrio back at you. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about rhythm guitar, specifically syncopated rhythm guitar, meaning R&B funk genres of that denomination. And to me, syncopation is the foundation of all things funky. I'm going to get more into that in a sec. If you watch my channel, you know that I'm a working cat. I do this full time, not YouTube, but I do playing guitar full time professionally. So a lot of my lessons come from real world experience. And that's where I got the idea for this one. Last night, I was rehearsing with a band and we're playing tomorrow here in Los Angeles called Session Syndicate. It's made up of all these all-star cats. And Steve Ferroni is playing drums, and you might know him from Tom Petty, but he played on all these famous Average White Band hits in the 70s, Shaka Khan, Duran Duran, Groove Meister Deluxe, and Freddie Washington on bass. And he's played with everybody from Steely Dan to who else? I mean, he did all these famous Patrice Rushen, Herbie Hancock, tons of famous things. And we're playing all those tunes. So, last night I was locked in with these guys and we were working out all these parts. So that's what gave me the idea for the lesson. So it's coming from real world experience. That little thing I made up on the intro is comprised of some of the little hooks from some of the tunes. So the opening riff is from a tune it's based on. Loosely, I borrowed it from a Herbie Hancock tune called On the Corner, and that's what we're doing tomorrow night. All these things, actually. And I'm going to show you that. That's like a little scratch rhythm. It was played by the great Wah Wah Watson. Freddie told me Wah Wah Watson played it. And it seems simple, but it's deceiving because, man, that thing is really hard to keep going for 6 minutes, and tempo is 114. But let me give you a couple of concepts, all right? So before I show you what I was doing, it's very important that I teach you the rhythm. And maybe you go, I can play that rhythm, but let me show you this concept. Some guys like write out all the 16 notes, and I can do that too. This is a little way I like to teach this rhythm. Just look at it as a 3-2 clave. Now you're like, what does that mean? 3-2 clave. And check it out. You're going to feel this. We're going to internalize it first. Check it out. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. There's our beat, right? 1, 2. The big old quarter notes. 2, 3. Here's my 3-2 clave. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Now, let's translate that over to the guitar. So here's what I'm playing. It's a very simple G minor shape. I'm using my first finger to bar the 3rd fret, 3rd, 2nd, 1st string. That's a B flat, a D, and a G. Ring finger is playing the root, 4th string, 5th fret. I'm not using the 5th or 6th strings at all. So you have to kind of guide your right hand to not hit those notes, or you could use your thumb. But to get that nice scratch, that kind of skank part, call it a scratch, chicken scratch part, whatever, I'm just really focusing on the top 3 strings. Now, let's look at the left hand. The left hand does a lot of work in rhythm guitar, especially in an example like this. And what I'm doing is squeezing and releasing. So the best way to teach you that is what I call training wheels. We're going to take our right hand and just play 16th notes slow. Just like that. Mute out the left hand. Just play the 16th slower. Steady. And then start to squeeze your left hand. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I call this training wheels because your right hand, is guiding you. It's keeping you in the lane, but eventually you want to remove the training wheels and just go on 2 wheels, and you get this. Nice and tight. Now, like Wawa Watson did, if you listen to that track, I'm not going to play it on here because I don't want any copyright strikes, but sometimes he goes to a straight 16th note scratch. And you can do that too, but when you have a fat groove like this, it's good to just let it breathe and just do the chops. Art Neville told me one time when I was working with the Neville brothers for years. Art Neville was the founder of the Meters, one of the funkiest bands ever. And one day he told me, he said, you know, maybe you've heard me say this before, I say it on some of my videos, it's worth repeating again. He had an analogy that funk is like a washing machine. And what he meant was when the washer is agitating the cycle, you know, when it does this and it's getting sudsy, it's the spaces in between the notes. That's what makes it funky. And he used to tell me that. He's like, man, it's the stuff you don't play. That's what makes that funky. All that stuff, you can feel the downbeat. I'm not even playing any downbeats, you know. So something simple like this is a perfect illustration of what I'm talking about. Now, I went to the B section. I made up a little B section, and this is based on one of those Patrice Rushen tunes that Freddie played bass on. And this is what I'm doing. This is a little chord lesson for you too. The tune goes to I just made up this little thing this morning for YouTube. This little example. It goes to an F minor 9, and the way I'm playing that, the way you could play the whole chord, is to play the root note with your middle finger on the 8th fret, 5th string. That's F. And then we use our first finger, 6th fret, 4th string, A flat. And then we use our third finger to play the 8th fret, 3rd string, and then pinky to play 8th fret, 2nd string. That's an F minor 9. And then it goes to a B flat 13. But I wasn't playing those whole voicings, but you need to learn the voicing anyway. So all you do to make this shape, pinky doesn't move, all right? Ring finger moves down a half step to the 7th fret, 3rd string. Middle finger is playing the A flat, that's 6th fret, 4th string. And then our bass note, root, B flat, is played with our first finger, 6th fret. That's a B flat 13. So, and then you move that down a whole step. But I didn't use the full chord. That's another lesson for you. You don't always need the whole voicing, especially in rhythm, funk guitar playing. So this is what I did. I only use the upper structure. So another quick little fingering for you to first finger, A flat. That's 6th fret, 4th string. And then the 3rd and 4th fingers are the same, the way I showed you. So I'm leaving off the root. And that way, all you do is you drop one note to the 7th fret, 3rd string. See that? That's, and it's funkier. So when you apply that rhythm to those voicings, the simple voicings, you get this. 3, 1, 4, 1. Very simple. The right hand is doing a little scratch, like a little pickup. 1 E and 2 E. 4, 1, 2. So when I went back to the reintro, I did a part like this. 2, 3, 4. And slowly, it's like this. 3, 4. Little stack fourth. That's 12th fret, 4th and 3rd string, my first finger, and my ring finger's playing the 13th fret, 2nd and 1st finger. So that one's got a lot of little syncopations going on. That comes from a song called Number One by Patrice Rushen, and I forget the guitar player's name. I was talking to Freddie about it last night. It actually wasn't Paul Jackson Jr. I thought it was, but it was another guy. I'll put the name here in the description. But he said that he played with a thumb pick and just kind of hit all the strings, really muted. So when you put all those together, it's kind of what I did on my gig, my rehearsal last night, that kind of stuff. It's really an endurance test, now you know how drummers feel. They have to keep that beat going all night. So there's a couple things for you to work on. And hey, if you like this, give me a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.